Hello everybody and welcome back to Conor here. Hope you're doing fantastically well, and we are back here with a multitude of different videos. Really, we're going to talk about the game last night, and we're going to talk about Swansea, the massive game at the weekend for Leeds United. Listen, last night, I don't know how to sum it up really, but let's go through the Stoke second team. This is a second team in this division, and this is why, a lot of people say, well, Stoke, why would Stoke go up? Why would Stoke go up? All this sort of stuff. Well, you just look at the calibre of squad. If they get the right man in, they get the right mentality, whatever it may be that's going on at Stoke, I don't really care, but whatever is going on down there, if they get the right thing going on, they could be dangerous this season, because how that is a squad with 9 changes, and you've still got a squad like that, it is incredible, and that just shows the parachute payments, it shows the depth, it shows the money that they've had thrown into them, it's the transfers, the big transfers at this division. It is ridiculous, I just saw some of the names. Some of the players I didn't even realise were at Stoke, and I'm quite well versed with football. I couldn't believe Stephen Ward was there. Completely forgot Vokes was there, 2 ex-Burnley players there just on their own. Obviously Ryan Woods, who was bought for a massive fee last January. Tom Ince, obviously, in and out, but he's always been at the top championship clubs. Who else was there? Bruno Martins Indy coming in. It's just ridiculous, you know what I mean? And obviously Jack Butland, obviously he's not having the best time at the minute, but these are the sorts of players they're bringing in for their second team. You look at our team: Leif Davis, Shackleton, Clark, Bogus. You know what I mean? These are the differences. Leeds are actually playing the 23s with obviously some first teamers. But then you've got Stoke, who are literally playing a second string side that would probably, with the right manager, finish in the top 10 or top 6 of any championship division in any given year. And that is the difference, Throughout the game, Leeds, obviously we started the game and it was end-to-end. It was end-to-end. Full credit to the kids. Obviously we had 5 or 6 in there, and full credit to them. We were brilliant, I thought. Eddie Nketiah is just ridiculous, and I love what's going on there at the minute. I want to give the kid more time. I would love to see a formation where we can fit them both in, Nketiah and Bamford, but obviously Bielsa has said that he will try to accommodate that in certain games. Nketiah is just a joke, and what I love about him is he seems to be pushing Patrick Bamford onto that next level, which is obviously improving Patrick Bamford's game. Then, the kids as well. Leif Davis impresses me every single time he plays. Leif, I think he's brilliant. His distribution for the second goal in particular that we'll get onto was excellent. And it just is looking good for our kids. It really is. And I love the fact that we, in these cup competitions, obviously we made the adjustments in the second half, but I love we will just throw the kids in there. We will just throw them out there, because why not? Our kids can cope with this. They're in and around the first team. Not only that, but they're capable. They're very, very good individual players. They play the Bielsa way. And I think I was listening on the radio for a little bit of it, obviously, because we couldn't get a stream and I was at work, but I couldn't believe, Leeds are falling apart again, was coming from the Stoke end. This is a team, their second team, which probably touches about £80 million worth of players, and we've got 6 or 7 under 23s in, and we're still in the game. You know what I mean? Theoretically, that should have been about 4 or 5-0 by half time. Not because they played well, but if you just look at the squads on paper, we were doing expertly well just to be 2-0 down to that sort of calibre side, and we were unlucky to be 2-0 down. Do you know what I mean? We had our chances, and Nketiah hit the post. Bogus went very, very close. Costa went close. It was very on par in that first half. Stoke may have edged it, but so they should. So they should edge it. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't believe the reaction at the end of the game. It was as if it was like party atmosphere. Unbelievable. Nathan Jones taking a picture of Ellen Road at the end to post on his social media. Unbelievable. Scraping at the barrel there. Scraping at the barrel, lads. But listen, really proud of the lads, good to give the kids a go. Obviously, Berardi made the team at the weekend, but, we all know that, he's sort of second string as well. Super duper Liam Cooper, obviously our starting centre-back. We made a whole host of changes, do you know what I mean? So, obviously, Dallas not there, White not there in the first lineup, then you've got Cooper, then you've got probably Alioski as well, then you've got, who else in the middle? Forshaw wasn't playing, was he? Harrison didn't start, Pablo didn't start, Click didn't start, Bamford didn't start, so So yeah, we made a whole host of changes, which was great to see. Obviously, I think from the Stoke team, it was sort of Carter Vickers and someone else I can't remember was existing from the weekend. I think Clucas, I think, who were another one who was giving it to the Leeds crowd. Strangely enough, another one who's finding needle with the Leeds crowd, which it just happens with the players seem to get a bit of needle with it, don't they? So so listen. I was really happy, as I've said multiple times, with the squad's performance. Went in 2-0 down, but I saw the score, and yeah, you're always disheartened when you're 2-0 down, of course you are. I always am. We want to see Leeds win, ultimately, and that is the be-all and end-all. That's what we all want. But went in at the half-time whistle, we were unlucky, we didn't deserve it. I thought, after watching the game back, listening to the radio and stuff like that, it sounds like, and it looked like we battered them. That first half, they took the chances, which, has always been the sort of ebb and flow with Leeds United, but second half came, Marcelo made a whole host of changes, obviously 3 subs, which I don't think we've ever seen from Marcelo Bielsa before, 3 subs, direct subs, Harrison coming on for Clark, Clark who, Tottenham Hotspur, we have had your pants down for Clark, not a great half again, I think Clark has got to build it with confidence. He's been left out the starting lineup twice, the actual squad, not just the lineup. So the kid's confidence is probably going to be a little bit low. So coming in, he wasn't going to blow blow the field away. He wasn't going to blow Stoke away. But he's a Premier League player now, so you sort of expect that from Clark. But yeah, so we got into it, and Harrison came on for Clark, and then Forshaw came on. Ben White came on. Ben White, when he came on, I was terrified, because we lose that kid, and we're in a whole world of hurt. That kid starts everything and ends everything for Leeds United. He is a quality player, and I'll be honest, guys, I didn't know if the changes were necessary. I wasn't that bothered about the cup, even if the kids lost 3-1, whatever, got back into it and then lost, whatever, I'm not 100% bothered, but we carried on, and we obviously brought the likes of Forshaw on as well, and yeah, we reverted back to our normal formation, really, and then this is what I mean. We brought on the big guns in the second half, and we just absolutely mauled Stoke. They had a chance at the end where Vokes just missed, but Leeds just were piling on the pressure. Stoke and the referee buying time, the ref giving some awful decisions once again, as every referee seems to do at Ellen Road. They can't handle the pressure, so they just bottle it and start handing out yellow cards. All of the Leeds officials on the side got yellow cards, which, yeah, they are very animated, so you can understand why. But listen, to say how we rejigged in the second half, and we brought on a couple of the 2 or 3 of the first teamers. We still didn't have our full side out once again, and that's how you've got to see it, guys. Stoke don't know their starting 11 yet, so that could have been their starting 11 last night. That 11 last night for me was better than what they had on paper at the weekend, and that is something that I was surprised Stoke didn't start with at the weekend. Why would you not start with the big man? Why would you not start with Vokes up front and then a little bit of pace in Tyrese Campbell? Why would you start with Lee Gregory? A bizarre decision. And obviously when they went one up front, you knew he was going to be isolated. I said that to my mate Liam. I said I'd be stunned if they didn't start Vokes and Tyrese Campbell at the weekend, because it's little and large. Vokes has played in that role before, where it's been little and large. He's played with Danny Ings at Burnley before, and that worked. I didn't understand why they didn't do that at the weekend, because I think that would have caused Leeds a lot more problems. And you could see with the balls coming in at the weekend from McLean that, it just needed a big man there to disrupt it a little bit, and they didn't do that. They did that last night. Obviously, we didn't have our first team starting, but, this is what I mean. So we're obviously bringing on a couple of the starting lads, and Harrison was brilliant when he came on. Special shout out to him. I thought he was absolutely excellent, tearing Stoke apart. And then Forshaw controlling the game again. That guy is just, arguably the most improved player of the season so far. He's been brilliant, changed the game as well. KP reverted back into his role, we started bringing things together again. And it all looked all right, and then we got the first goal, which I wasn't surprised that, Eddie was superb again. Costa and Eddie just linking up so well, terrifying Stoke in that second half, and we started getting our mojo back. Obviously we still had the kids in there as well, and it was great. Leif Davis, Bogus learning off the first teamers as well. Wanted to keep them in, so we wanted to, you don't want it just to be a first team performance. Unlike Stoke, you want to actually bed the kids in and see, this is the sort of performance you're going to expect if you play against a top team in this division. We want to bed the kids in as well. The kids are the future. The kids have always been the future for Leeds United, and that is why we've got, for me, the best academy in the division, one of the best academies in the country. You know, the amount of players we bleed through every year is ridiculous. You know, I think it's top. It's probably top in Europe, to be honest. It's one of the top clubs in Europe. So, got back into it. Eddie goal, Jack Butland howler again. Eddie goal, and then held Acosta with a brilliant header as well. Nodded down, him and Nketiah. You know, Nketiah missed it, and then Acosta with the knock-in. Eddie could have scored at the end. Phillips could have scored at the end. A bumper crowd at Ellen Road. Yeah, we lose on penalties. 9 perfect penalties. I have to say, Stoke's penalties were unbelievable. Ours were as good until Harrison, and he hit the inside of the post, which was unlucky. I did fear that Harrison would miss. I'm not going to lie. I just had the notions of, apparently what he said last year about how he just couldn't deal with the Ellen Road pressure, and maybe he's still adapting to that, which it might take a little bit of time. But yeah, and I just thought to myself, yeah, if one of them's going to miss on the 5th penalty, I wouldn't have given the 5th penalty to Harrison anyway. I wouldn't have given him the 5th penalty. It's a lot of pressure. And yeah, you might turn around and say, well, he should deal with the pressure. But at the end of the day, he's a kid. He's a kid. He's going to build. He's going to be, And I've thought as well, Bamford and Harrison, they look better away from Ellen Road, and maybe that is circumstantial. Maybe they're just getting used to the Ellen Road crowd again. It takes a certain type of player to play in front of the Ellen Road crowd. We've seen that over the past 15 years, you know what I mean? The good players that have come to Ellen Road from bigger clubs, Billy Sharp, Steve Morrison, for example, just two I can pluck out my head, haven't been able to do it at Ellen Road. The pressure, the crowd getting on top of you. It is a real special crowd to play in front of, and to take the mantle on, just for example, like Helder and Eddie have done, it really is. It takes a special player. But yeah, guys, so that's all I really want to say about that. We're out the cup. I prefer to be out the cup. I know a lot of you will be like, well, it's cup competition. It's nostalgic. It's traditional, la, 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 which is great. I respect that. I respect the cup. I'll always respect the cup, but I don't want to win the cup. I know it sounds daft. We're not going to win the cup, are we? I want to get promoted out of this division. So we're losing the FA Cup. We give it a good shout. Give it a good go, fair play. We're out of the Carabao Cup, whatever. Gives us less games, less chance of getting injuries within the squad, which is the ultimate thing we don't need or want, and we can focus on the league. No more midweek games, none of that. We don't want that. I do not want that, And I was actually, it was a perfect result yesterday. We're 2-0 down. We valiantly got back in it. Helder scored. Costa scored again. They also scored the penalties. We scored 4 perfect penalties. We're unlucky with the 5th, really unlucky. And it was a good performance. Stoke want to get through. That might be Nathan Jones' saving grace. He's beating our under-23s, so it's going to give him an extra week in the job. Fair play, whatever. Well done, Nathan Jones. Keep taking your pictures at Ellen Road. Fantastic. But the league is the most important thing for me. We beat them 3-0 at the weekend. We move on. We get the 3 points. Yada, yada, yada. So anyway, Swansea, the big one, the big game. The game we're all interested in at the weekend. Haven't got any stats written down for this. As I've just said to you guys, I am trying to electrically get down to Sheffield to move all my stuff in. But listen, going to be a massive game. The boss there, he's done a magnificent job, an absolutely magnificent job. 5 wins out of 6. Obviously, they're playing Cambridge United tonight. Is that going to impact Swansea? It's a game they're probably going to win. Obviously, they're going to have more games in the week further on, which is obviously what I just said I don't want with this Leeds United side. But listen, what a team. At the minute, they're playing some scintillating football. Borja Baston coming back. He was on loan last season. He's come back from the continent, and he looks twice the player. He was always going to be that sort of starting figure for Swansea, but obviously they had the likes of Ollie McBurney, who was never going to get ahead of. That's probably why they loaned him out in the first instance. Andre Ayew's come back, who's now fitting into the squad. A top level player, always been a top level player. Top level for his country as well. So listen, I've got some real talent. Borja's scoring pretty much every game. Andre Ayew's I think he's got about 4 or 5 assists so far as well. So these are no mugs. They play some really nice football. Selena obviously scored a wonder goal against us for Ipswich a couple of years ago, which won Ipswich the game down at Portman Road. Proper player, absolute player. He was on Man City's books for years. They didn't want to let him go apparently, but Swansea obviously got the fee done and dusted. So they've got some real players. Dyer's still down there, obviously. The big ones that got taken away from Swansea, obviously, that you've got your Leroy Fair, you've got your Bonies, you've got your McBurneys, you've got your Dan James. It's a massive nucleus of that squad being taken away. Are they going to fall away at some point, or are they going to be Leeds United's challengers this season? We all see us being, top 2, top 6, whatever it may be. Are Swansea going to be the Norwich? Are Swansea going to be the Sheffield United? They're playing some lovely football. So this is why we need to keep composed for this game. We really do. We need to keep composed. We're playing some great stuff, but we were playing some great stuff last year as well when Norwich came to Ellen Road. It was a lot later on, but Swansea play a very similar way. Very similar way, you know. They've not got a lot of individual brilliance, but they work as a unit. They really do work as a unit, and it's similar to Leeds. They've got a young England coach there as well. The under-17s World Cup won by that individual, so they're no mugs at all. He's versed in the English game. He knows exactly what's going to be coming at Ellen Road. How they're going to set up, I'm not sure. Will they be defensive? I doubt it. He likes to play the attacking brand of football, which I massively respect. Will that play into Leeds United's hands? Yeah. If he plays attacking and he comes at Leeds, I think, you know, he's going to be in trouble. You know, you saw even just last night when we brought the big boys on how scary we can be going forward. You know, Nathan Jones barking orders, terrified. You know, nearly started crying when 6 minutes went up because Leeds were coming back into it. We were coming back into it strong. We've got depth now. We've got depth with quality as well. You know, to bring those two off the bench is scary. You know, have Swansea got that, for instance? I don't think they have. You know, maybe Wayne Routledge, but, you know, he's getting on a little bit. You know, Nathan Dyer might be on the bench as well. But no disrespect to any Swansea player or anything like that. I just think we might have a little bit too much from at the weekend. But these aren't going to be any mugs. And, you know, I feel like Norwich game last year, we were all a little bit complacent. Believe it or not, and I'm not blowing smoke up my ass, I wasn't, but you all know what I'm like. I turned around and said it was going to be a massively tough game, and I'm a little bit worried about Norwich, you know, and I am a little bit worried about Swansea. I just feel we've got a little bit more metal about us. Once again, we need to win that midfield battle. I felt last night in the first half, obviously we had the kids in there, but I felt the midfield was overrun last night, you know. The Stoke game, even at the weekend, Stoke started stronger. They did. They started first 10, 15 minutes. Leeds were pretty poor. You know, Stoke actually started a lot stronger. So we need to make sure we grab hold of the game straight away and not let Swansea get into it, not let Swansea take a foothold. We need to keep the ball away from them and try to just demoralise them a little bit, you know, just keep the ball away from them to, you know, show them that we are the football inside in this division. We are the team to beat. And just take the game to them, really. And I think we can do that. You know, I want to see Forshaw back in there, obviously. Ben White, I would go the existing lineup that was playing at the weekend. That mauled Stoke, I would play that. Obviously, I'd love to see Costa within that side. You know, I would, guys. And I want to see Nketiah. Do I think he'll play, you know, two up front for this game? I don't. Do I think he'll play Costa for this game? I don't. Does Costa warrant a start? I do think so. I do. But who do you take out for him? It's massively difficult. But, you know, the game last night, we didn't have our two playmakers in Click and Hernandez. So they're going to be back in the fold. So I'm excited for it. Listen, I think we're going to beat them 2-0. I think it's going to be a 2-0 win. I think defensively we're going to be astute and I think we're going to take our chances and I think Leeds are going to run out 2-0 winners. It's going to be a great win and we win at the weekend and we're on to a really good thing. 9 points out of 9 out of Stoke, Brentford and Swansea if we win the game. 3 really tough games, you'd say, at the start of the season. So listen, we're going to go on and we're going to do good things for me this season. But yeah, depth, quality, and we really have got players who are proving it week in, week out. I was most enthused last night by the fact that the 3 came on, just changed the game. And they are our starting players. Imagine if they'd have started the game. You know, if our first team had started against Stoke last night, I thoroughly believe we'd have blown them away. Do you know what I mean? They wouldn't have been able to handle the pace, the pragmatism, the dynamism, everything in and out of the channel. So, yeah. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video anyway. It's been a bit of a Swansea review, a Swansea preview and a Stoke review from last night. This is what I'm going to get out for the week, unfortunately. Obviously, we're moving down. I'm going to mention that for the 46th time. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please leave you a like on the video as well. I'd really appreciate that. That'd be fantastic. A comment, you know, what do you think the score's going to be? How do you think we're going to line up? I would like to see the exact same lineup, but I just feel, yeah, Helder and Nketiah deserve a chance. Is this what it's going to be like all season? What do you think? Do you think they're just going to be impact subs? Let me know what you guys think anyway, and I'll see you in a bit.